Hi everybody. In today's video I'm going to recreate this character that I have here because I just made this entire video and found out my audio wasn't on because I had been doing a Microsoft Flight Simulator recording last time and I had my microphone turned off and system audio on. Anyway, long story short, starting over, so I'm going to go ahead and delete her. It turned out okay, but we're going to remake these pants and this shirt, and I'm going to try to do this mesh a little better. Sometimes on the later attempts things get better, so we'll see. We're going to say new project. I probably should save her, but we can always do her again. That's what she said. He said. Okay. Sorry, I'm not very funny. This got up really early today. Okay, starting a brand new project. And give this just a second. Okay, I'm going to go to my temp folder and delete everything you see here that I just spent all this time making, but life is fun. Do it again. So now we're going to go to the headshot plugin. Go to, got this girl here, female, clean and soft, and hit generate. And while this is loading, I'll just explain what we're going to be doing, because I've now done this 3 times. Once was a practice run, and once was thought I was recording, and now we're doing it again. But we're going to be, the character comes out too pale from the way IClone, the headshot creator, creates her. So we're going to adjust the skin in pixeldatabase.net, which is my free website. So that's, you can do it in other, if you rather use Photoshop or paint.net or something, you're welcome to, but I'm just going to show you how I do it in my site. And then we're going to be using paint.net for a few things to create the textures of the images we're going to use, so I don't have to, because if I use a stock photo I was going to use, I can't give that away, so we'll just create something that we can use that you can create yourself if you want to. And then finally we have another program called Image Randomizer, and I'll put the link to my Git Hub repo that has that, and you can download that, and you'll need Visual Studio, which is free from Microsoft, to edit it. And it's just a program it's called an image randomizer, but this is not going to have anything random. It's just going to make rows of things, so I don't have to copy stuff. It's pretty useful for stuff like this. I was trying to put it into my website, but I haven't done it yet, and I just wanted to make this video, so I made a kind of complete video. And I've wanted to create some more women's clothing, and this one thing I always see them wearing are these like yoga pants or stretch pants or whatever, and they're always distracting me, my innocent mind. They force me to wander to the gutter and look through their kind of see, she comes out good, save me from babbling, comes out kind of pale looking, so we're going to just edit that in my website. So we're going to first go to modify, activate editor, yes, just apply all of our changes. Okay, so now she's naked. Now we're going to just go to skin base, save texture, and I'm just going to call this head. And I'm going to go body. I'm going to go kind of fast because last time it took a long time for the whole video. So I'm going to try to beat our last time was 55 minutes, so we're going for much faster. This is going to be body. And then we got arm. And legs. Okay, now we're going to open these up in my website. Pretend you didn't see all this stuff here. And now we'll just do arms first. Doesn't really matter. Here we're going to say update, set, adjust all -36. And then now I'm going to say set adjust red 16. So the red only goes down 20, but the others go down 36 is what's happening here. And I don't have a way to do that in one statement right now. And I'll just download that. Call it arms2. And now we'll do body. And it doesn't matter which order I do this in, so I'll just do the red there because it's already typed. And I'll do the, it's pretty easy to replace, and we'll download that. And that's going to be body 2. And now we'll do the head. And this is a pretty large image, is why the head takes longer to load. I started with a really large, the headshot photo was really big, and by the time I got down to the face it was still fairly large. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do this one because it's already typed. Okay, and now we'll do the red positive 16. Okay, and we'll download that. And then the last one will be the body. I mean the legs. Sorry, I've already done that. And we'll do the red because it's already typed. Okay. Alright, and now we will go over to Character Creator and apply that. So we'll start with the legs because it's already here. So we'll just select legs 2. You can see that's quite a bit darker. Go to arms. Do the body. And then finally we're going to do the head. Head 2. Okay, so that looks a little better. Now we'll activate that. Puts our clothes back on. Okay, that looks a little better as far as texture wise. So now what we're going to do is create the pants. So to do that, well, I want to do one thing. Let me go look at her eyes. Let's see what she looks like. I don't know. I guess we'll just leave the eyes alone. I was going to do something, but we'll just put some hair on her. So for the hair, go over here. No, I don't want to be on custom. Hair, and we'll just put this ponytail on her. The headshot had a ponytail but not quite as much hair, but that's okay. We're not going to mess with that much. We might try to take the hair and go down a little. I don't want to like make her head stick out. It looks okay though. And then we're going to make the hair a little bit darker is the only thing. I'll just use the IClone tools for this. And I'll just make that. That's fine. That was the scalp, and then we do the ponytail part about to the same thing. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, so that's fine. It's not completely dark, but looks good. So now what we're going to do is create the pants. So to do that, we're going to go Content, go to my Clothing, Pants, and go to Plain Base. And I'm going to select Skinny Pants Base. Fit body shape. Hit OK. And we'll look at this. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to paint.net. I'm going to close everything open right now because I don't need any of it. We're going to be creating it all. Now I'm going to say resize this image, and I'm going to 1920 by 1080 is what I want. And I'm going to just save this. I could do this part in paint.net, but I'll just use my site for it because it's easier to be precise for me. So I'll just say blank image. Could have called it white image or something, but alright. And here back in my site, I'm going to open up that blank image. And I wanted to say set color 888, and that's going to get us an almost black image. I'll go ahead and download this, and we'll just call this almost black. And we'll apply this as our texture in IClone for the pants. Okay. Now, you can tell the jeans outline is still there like on her pants, but we can get rid of that by getting rid of the bump map. So there they kind of look like the stretch pants, but right now they're too glossy. They come kind of like, we're gonna take this specular down to 8, and we'll make this up to about 18, so they maybe 16. Yeah, that's fine. Just kind of look like that stretchy whatever material women wear these things in. Okay. Alright, so now what I want to do is we're going to create kind of a mesh to put on the side, because whenever I see these things, they always have this one area that's like semi-transparent, just to kind of make your innocent mind wander to the gutter. Or that's what happens to me. So we're going to go ahead and create our mesh. To do that, we're going to use paint.net. We're going to resize this image, and I'm going to take this down all the way to about, we're going to go 33, and there's a reason for that, because when I used 32 there was a little bit of a gap, but that's okay. So what we're going to do next is create a rectangle shape here in paint.net, and I'm going to say draw filled shape, and I'm going to just draw a, something like that, where I've got that line, and then I want to copy that. We're going to make, no, I wanted only the, we're going to use the little magic wand wizard, see if I can get only the black line, because I wanted to make a copy. This is for our mesh. Alright, that looks fine. I might move those up, just move the middle one. Alright, sorry, it's kind of hard for me to see something that small. Okay, and now I'll just paste in to fill that in. Alright, that's fine. Just wanted something to give us a little bit closer to mesh looking. And for this, we're gonna we'll just save this. We'll call this white stripes mesh slice, and I'll show you why we're calling it slice. We're gonna go over to my website, or not my website, github.com, my repo on GitHub, and this is going to be image randomizer. Here's the full repo. I'll put the link in the video description, but if you want to download this, and if you have Visual Studio, or if you want to install Visual Studio, you can just clone this, or you can just open it in Visual Studio, or download it as a zip file. So for the rest of this video, I'll assume if you're going to follow along that you have this program, so I already have it here. So I'm going to just run it. I'm going to first select our little slice image. Now I'm going to select our almost black image we created, and notice it fills in that there's 32 slices. So there, that just kind of creates our I don't know if that's mesh looking or not, but we'll just call this mesh black or something .png, and I'll save the image. and that saves the image in that temp folder. So we're going to go open that up. Here's our mesh, and I'm going to crop this down to that little bottom part. Doesn't look right, but that's because our image doesn't exactly fit, but that's okay. Now what we're going to do is open up. By the way, if you heard that, I just hit Control A and Control C to select all and to copy. And now we're going to open this up, add a new layer, and first I'm going to have to show you where this is going to go. Sorry, I skipped a step. We're going to have to go back to our character creator, and I want to show you one thing we're going to need to do, just to I kind of know where this is because I've done this a few times, but to show you how I found out, we'll go ahead and do that. So we're going to open up the UV map for that, for the pants. So here, if we go modify, here's the UV map, and that'll give you this. We're going to save it as a bitmap, as a PNG, because it wants to be a bitmap, and we're going to call this pants UV black. Now what we're going to do is go open this up, that image I just downloaded, pants UV black, that I must not have put where I thought I did. Where did I just, hang on. I must not have saved that where I thought I did. I didn't. Okay. Pants UV black in the temp folder I'm working in. Alright, try this one more time. There they are. Hide total less than 20. We're going to get rid of the black pixels. So now we've got just the kind of purple outline. It's a little easier for me to work with that. So we'll call this pants UV because there's no longer black. And we're going to open this up. Now I'm going to hit Control A and Control C to select all and to copy. We've got this image here. We've already got our new layer I just created a second ago. So what I want to do now is add one more layer. And you can kind of see it if you look closely, but there's this little area here that's kind of the seam of, kind of like where the front and the back meet. But that's where we're going to be putting our excuse me, little mesh image. So what we want to do is create a rectangle, draw filled shape, and we're going to make it white. So what we want to do is draw our rectangle first. I'm going to try to go from about here to here. Make it kind of narrow this time. And then I'm going to make a copy of that. It never does that. I don't know why I don't do that. Let me use the little magic wand tool. So now I'm going to hit Control C and Control V to leave the original. And this we're going to try to just spin a little bit to try to stay in this little seam there. If you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but it's easier in the, it's probably harder to see on the video than in paint.net. Okay, and that's, do one more little bit for that just to kind of, I had it, then my hand moved. Okay, so that gives us our area where the mesh is going to appear. Let me get a drink. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm going to hit Control C. We're going to come over here to this side, and we're going to try, it's not exactly symmetrical, but we're going to try to just spin this. Let's see, I have to do these separately. I'm going to do the top part. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll do all of this. Otherwise the spinning didn't work out right. I have to fill some of that in, but hang on. I didn't copy this right. Well, I can do this. Okay, I have to fix that a little bit, but that won't be hard. I'm just going to draw a line to fix that with a white line. Very big line. There. Okay, that's good enough. We'll see what it looks like. Let me take off the purple, and now we've got our white stripe. So I'm just going to save this. We might have to adjust it, so we'll go look at what this looks. We'll call this pants with white stripes, and we'll go look, see what where our lines appeared. Okay, that's basically where I wanted. Kind of wanted both of them a little more towards the back. I think we're gonna go try that, see if I can move them both a little bit. Let's go back and let me look at their images and see what the best way to do that is. Hang on. So we'll go back. And I think, oops, I think it's moving that way, but we'll see. We'll move that back that way. And this one back that way, about the same amount. And we'll see what that looks like. So it's a little bit of trial and error to getting this right. Just overwrite that. Okay, and we'll see what this looks like. Okay, that's a little better where I want it, just on the side. Okay, so there, it's kind of going pretty far up. Alright, so now we're going to create our mesh layer. So to do that, I just wanted to make sure we had our image right before we started making other copies of that. So we're going to open this up. We're going to say hide total greater than 20, in this case, greater than 50, because that other one's 24. Okay, so now we've got our transparent area. So we'll save this. Pants with transparent stripes. We'll open this up, and now I'm going to open up our mesh image, and we are going to, oops, let me, getting Control A there, but I'm going to kind of get it pretty small there. I'm copying that to my clipboard, and now we're coming over here, adding another layer, moving the layer down so only that part shows through, and that is our little mesh layer. I don't claim this is the best looking mesh, it's just a mesh. We could do a little more if we wanted to. That looks a little better. Alright, so I'm going to copy that. Let me see if I got a little more and what doesn't look any real difference. Okay, I'm going to copy this and spin it there. So that gets us our, I might expand that just a little. Okay, that's fine. So that's our mesh for that one. Alright, so now we're going to save this. Let's see what it looks like. We'll call them pants with mesh. So let's instead of that big old stripe, it should be okay. So it's not really perfect, but you get the idea of what it's supposed to look like. You can, play around and make it better or whatever you're looking for. I was just trying to get something to see if that's symmetrical. Goes a little bit past her knee. It's about right. So now we're going to do a shirt that matches. We don't really have to do this. You could just put any shirt on her, but I'll go ahead and, in case you ever had the Granimals, if you're old enough to know what that is, where you have the matching animal for the top and the bottom. You had to have been a kid a long time ago to know what that is, probably. Alright, going to go to shirts, plain base, t-shirt, fit body shape, default. We're going to go ahead and conform. Okay. And that looks good. So now what we're going to do is try to, first we'll just put, it may be too much of the same texture, but we'll just put that on there. Again, it comes with too much specular and not enough glossy. So that's kind of just doesn't really match your pants too well there, but that's okay. You could mess around with that on whatever you want to make it match. So now what we're going to do though is try to create a little bit of a matching mesh. So to do that, I'm going to go to do the same thing we did with the shirt and get the UV, with the pants. This is going to be shirt UV black. Now we're going to go to my site, shirt UV black. I was not in the right directory, Jer, I bet. What do you bet? Nope. Okay, temp. Alright, so now we'll go to shirt UV black there. We're going to say hide total greater than 20. Less than 20. Sorry, computers do what you tell them. Couldn't figure out that. Alright. And we'll just say shirt UV transparent. Now we're going to open this up. And we're going to go to open up the almost black, add a layer, paste in. I'm going to add one more layer. This is going to be our layer for our little rectangle for our circle. Now this I found out just through trial and error because I've done this a couple of times. But this is the front apparently. So we're going to put our stripes right here. So I'm going to create a white rectangle. It's a filled shape. And make it kind of thin. Actually, we're going to use a line for this. See what it looks like with a really big line. It's not that big, but because with the line we can kind of curve it however we want. Alright, something like that. And then we're going to take off this one little part here just so it ends a little bit like that. And now I'm going to make a copy of this. Go over here, do that, get it to about the same size, I hope. Okay. And this isn't exactly symmetrical, but it's good enough for prime time. Alright, so now we're going to hide this layer and we'll save this. And, oh, I want to do one more thing. I also want to do something on the sleeve, just to see. I'm going to try something different because where I put it last time didn't work. So we'll just see what this looks like. And this is going to be shirt transparent stripes. I think I spelled that right, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so now we're going to, oh, I never took off, I did, we can undo that. I meant to take off that layer. Do that again, save that again. Shirt, there. It's not transparent stripes, but it's white. We'll turn them into transparent now. That's what we were doing. So now we're going to say hide total greater than 50. Okay, so now we've got our transparency areas. We're going to download this. And now we'll call this shirt transparent striped. It actually is what that is. Okay, we're going to open this up. And I should have done this with just the white, but we're going to just grab the mesh and wing this, see what it looks like. Okay, so here, adding a new layer, moving down. Try to make it real meshy looking. Alright. Okay. And then this last one will kind of take it and I think we'll just make a copy. Didn't look as good when we stretched. There. Okay, that looks fine. Alright, let's see what this looks like and we'll go over to our shirt. Shirt with mesh. Go ahead and close that, we don't need it. And now we're going to go to character creator, shirt with mesh. Okay, so our stripes definitely are not proportional in size, but that's okay. That's basically what I was trying to do, just something to tell that this matches. It's kind of more like a barcode than mesh on this, so it's not the best looking mesh. I was just trying to create something to kind of say without us having to, without me by, using a stock photo. So you can experiment and make, that was just a few ways to make your own. So now the last thing I'm going to do is put shoes on her. So let's go ahead and put some socks on her. I think this just needs to be a little bit darker to match the, let me go to the pants. I was trying to make that match the shirt a little more, and it doesn't seem to, so we'll just see if I don't know. Not really sure I'm noticing much, but okay. Still doesn't seem to match, but doesn't have to, I guess. Okay, so the last thing I want to do, putting shoes on her, so go to content, go to socks. I never remember where socks are. These what we're going to use, fit body shape, default. Okay, looks like that kind of messes up the pants a little bit, so I'll click on conform, do it one more time, one more. Okay, that's fine, didn't have to even increase the size any. Now what I want to do is go to shoes, and for this I'm going to use one of my shoes in my shoe collection. You can use any shoe you want, but if you want to follow along what I'm doing, I'm going to try to get this pair of shoes individually for sale, because right now I've got it 12 for $10, but I was thinking I was going to make it $2 for one, so that way if you don't want to buy the whole set, you might want just one, and it's a little bit more expensive per shoe, but that's okay. So now I'm going to do one thing to this. I noticed if I do this invert, I get something like that. And because I've got it inverted, I want to make it darker. I actually go to brighter. So it's a little bit just counterintuitive, but so we'll go to something like that. And I thought that kind of matched her outfit and her shoes a little bit. The shoes and the socks kind of match there a little bit. And the being dark looks better than the other one. So that was my character. Let me see how I did on time. That was only 35 minutes, so that was better. I took off 20 minutes and probably did a little better the second time. So that was my video. You can obviously try to make it, I think a little bit better mesh I might play around with and try to create something. But it looks okay, that's kind of what I see women's, sportswear looking something along. I probably should have tried to make those proportional a little bit. Like I think the shirt could be a tiny bit bigger, maybe, and the pants mesh a little bit smaller. And I'm not sure. I didn't ended up that where I wanted. I was kind of wanting that like this, but mainly I was just trying to make this sleeve have something on it. All right. Well, that was my video, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.